I think everybody figures this out on themselves. There's greed and there's euphoria and there's sadness and there's a lot of human emotions that we can't control. But over time, you get to know them better and you get to know yourself better. I think you have to really get you have to get burned.
Hi guys, welcome back to another TFT interview. We keep the payout interviews coming. So like we have moved from funded interviews to now payout interviews. These are more exciting. This is what you guys asked for. This is what you want. So we're giving it to you. So this one is special here. We've got LP trading. Usman, kind of let everybody know where you're from and what got you into trading.
All right, so most of the people online would know me as Trading LP or LP Trading. I go that on YouTube, Instagram. So I was born in Pakistan. I've lived my whole life in Toronto, Canada. This is where I grew up.
Wow.
Yeah, in 2 days, I'm moving to Dubai. So a lot of crazy things are going on. And how I got into trading was basically 2020, early 2020. I was just fed up with my job and I wanted to find something online. I was trying different things. I basically came across trading. I definitely knew this was it. And I just never looked back. There was once I started, there was no stopping. And we'll probably get into that in the podcast. And yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay. So now was it like you just kind of scoping the internet and you're like, okay, is there another way I can find money? Was it like an affiliate or an influencer?
Okay. So this is what happened, right? So the thing was I worked in a family business for like 8 years and it was a Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. So I worked every single day of my life. No social life, right? So I was so fed up of that life. And so I thought the solution out would be getting a job where I'd get a Saturday off. I didn't know what a Saturday off was like. I thought that was heaven or something. So I went and I left that business and I went upgraded my skills. I got into digital marketing sales, got a job at a Fortune 1000 company. So I thought I'd hit my goal in life, right?
Yeah.
And I soon realized that the job was actually worse because now I felt more like a slave. Like at least at the business, I had some ownership. I had some say. Yes, I didn't have a life, but here it was like if I clocked in 2 minutes late, my boss would send me an email about it. And I was like, okay, this is not, I don't think this is how life is supposed to be lived like. You know, and there was another incident when I bought I explained in one of my other YouTube videos, I bought a car and it took me 3 weeks for my boss to let me go pick it up because he just kept making excuses. So we have a meeting today, we have this. So anyways, long story short, I was very fed up with this. COVID happened in March. In April, we got sent home and there was news going around that we were going to get furloughed or let go of our job. So I was like, okay, I might not even have a job. Found out about crypto trading because I invested like $5,000 in Bitcoin.
Okay.
I invested in some random coin in Binance, made like $3,000-$4,000. And I was like, wow. You can actually do. And then I was like, I need to learn how to trade right away. All I did was, that's all I thought about. I thought, okay, let me buy the most expensive course available because once I buy this course, I'm going to become profitable and the Lambo is just going to roll in. So I bought the $1,300 course and I studied it, I think like 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day. And then I proceeded to lose $30,000. Via crypto Binance futures. All right. But I didn't give up. Like I was like, listen, this has to work because my only other option is going back to this job. And if I have to do that, I might have to kill myself because I can't do this. Like I was just not one of those people that could go back. Like, you know what I mean? I have some coworkers, still very good friends that are still there. They're still working. They're still happy. It just wasn't me. I can't do that. Okay. So that August of 2020, I switched to Forex and I literally spent all waking hours learning Forex trading, market structure, whatever it could, anybody I could learn from. I bought a course every week. So so you know what? You know, I understand people knock buying courses, but I honestly learned from each one of those courses that I bought, even though some of them were absolute trash. I think they made me the trader that I am today. And so between August and December, I think I used to wake up at 4 in the morning, study, trade till 8:30, clock into work. And even during work, since I was working from home, I would literally not really be working. I would just be like on TradingView and pretend to work.
Yeah.
In December of 2020, I was really fed up. I was getting nowhere with trading. Like I was getting better at the TA, but I think it was just like my psychology, which is the last thing that traders suffer from. So one of the things that I always preach and teach is you need strategy, risk management, and psychology all perfected before you can make any money in these markets.
Yeah.
And I think I was missing risk management. I was missing psychology. So I improved my risk management. Psychology comes with time. It's not something that can be taught or learned very quickly.
Yeah.
So in January of 2021, I said, listen, I'm going to go back. I'm going to give this trading thing one more try. And if it doesn't work out, I'm going to accept my fate and maybe try doing some other kind of online business, or I'll jump off a bridge. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I don't know. So that January, I was like, okay, I'm going to do one FTMO challenge, and I'm going to follow all my rules. I'm going to follow risk management. I'm going to follow everything that I could possibly do right? Because when you're trading, like you're always making stupid mistakes. I followed all my rules. I got funded with FTMO. March 2021, I got my first payout, $2,800. I bought this iPhone with it. I remember I couldn't afford it, and I bought it. It's something that I touched today. And it was crazy. The first payout I got, the ball just got rolling for me. Next month, I got a $8,000 payout. And my strategy started clicking for me. I just started realizing that it was just all the stupid mistakes that I was making that was screwing me up. I don't know what happened. I'm very lucky, alhamdulillah. Like, I'm very lucky that it just started working out for me. That summer in July, I made $30,000 with FTMO. I got interviewed by FTMO that summer in August, and I took all my money, and I made a friend online. We used to trade together. He lived in Bolivia in South America, and I took some of my money and I flew out to Bolivia. We had an amazing time. I came back, and on Monday I had an email from my boss saying, listen, we looked over your work and you haven't really been doing anything for 3 months. We need to have a meeting. And the meeting was at 10 a.m. And at 9:45, I sent in my resignation letter saying, peace.
Yes, sir.
I've been a full-time day trader since then. And
wow.
I want to give a real big shout out to the trading LP community. So that's like my mentorship. We have over 300 students. We have actually over 100 funded students. We have a bunch that are with actually the funded trader program. Nice. We have, I think we probably have one of the only groups that have so many funded traders. So shout out to you guys. That's kind of my story, basically.
Wow. Okay. Incredibly inspiring. First of all, the 45 minutes before you got to go, or the 15 minutes before you're like about to have, you're like, no, game over. We're done. Going full-time trading right here. That's so inspiring. It was like, I was like, you know what? I might as well just jump into this thing because I'm already making money. I'm already kind of profitable. And I don't feel like going into this stupid meeting where I'm just going to get bitched at. So bye. Yeah.
And honestly, and after it's been an amazing year. I can't complain. It's been an amazing year.
Now what's cool is whenever you started saying that, like, okay, you got your first payout and then you got your second payout and things started clicking, it's almost like there's this snowball effect. Like, I experienced the same exact thing. When I became a full-time trader, it was like a snowball effect. My trading was getting better. I was making more profit. I was more consistent. It was like, it's so crazy how it snowballs. So like when you go from like that part-time to full-time, you're no longer limited to like trading at these super small hours of the day that you get, before work or after work. Yeah. Like, it's just a snowball. You take the ceiling off. It's like, now there's a glass ceiling. Like, now you have opportunity to trade throughout the entire day. The opportunities just keep coming. It's the coolest thing ever. So way cool to see that just your strategy just snowballed and like things started clicking and they started making more and more profits. The coolest thing.
It's crazy. It's like you go for, I don't know if it was for you or for other traders. It's almost like you're stuck behind a glass wall and you're like, how do I get past this wall? And then you get past it and you're like, oh shit. How did that? It just happened. But the real buildup is actually the hard work that you put in the years and years and years before, which people don't see. People don't see that I put in 16 hours a day for 2 years. People don't see that I used to not sleep, or my family used to call me crazy, or used to think I have some kind of gambling problem. Like, people don't see that, the work that actually happened behind the scenes. It's not like I just one day woke up and was magically profitable. It's still hard to, it's just, one day it just works out if you stick long enough around.
Absolutely. Completely agree. Okay. So now that we've gotten into what got you into trading, now you mentioned that you've taken a ton of courses. So you kind of picked little pieces out of every single little thing. It seems like you've almost curated like your own kind of strategy. So you were able to see this works, this doesn't, this works, this doesn't. So you've essentially curated your own strategy. Yeah. Would you say?
So yeah, so here's what happened, right? I think one course I remember learning, there's one course, well, I could never understand the definition, the real definition of market structure. I knew what everything else was. There was this one course, I don't want to name it, but it was one course that really stuck market structure in my head. There was another course I did that was on the 1 minute, like the person taught 1 minute time frame trading. That made me very good at the lower time frame. I never knew how to like even look at the 1 minute chart. So over time, these things that I did, it created intuition in my head, I think is what it really did. I think that's one thing that I talk to a lot of my students about is the people that eventually get good at trading eventually get some form of intuition. So it's almost like you kind of know, you've seen it before. You know when to up I wouldn't say change your risk too much, but you know when to get aggressive and when to lay off. I think that happened with me, like really, it worked out in my brain maybe much faster than it would with other people. So, and it could have been because I did so many courses, and every course I did, I would spend hours studying it, trying to be the best at it. And over time, I found a strategy, which was basically somebody taught me basic supply and demand. But then because of all the things that I had learned, I started creating my own confluence list. And then eventually I created something called the A+ setup, which I introduced to my program, which literally we have like a 70-80% win rate in our Discord community. There's a whole confluence list. It's all the confluences I've created myself. I came up with them. I don't think anybody else trades the way I do. And besides my Discord community, everybody there would know. So yeah, I did kind of curate this over time myself, and it was just small things that I saw. Okay, this is working, this works best. Let me try. And then it just, now I know what my good setup looks like. So once you have something like that, once you have a systematical approach to the markets, I won a lot of challenges this year. I made a lot of money from prop firms last year. I did a video where I show 100K withdrawal in prop firms live on YouTube. I think I'm one of the only YouTubers that has actually shown over $150,000 in prop firm payouts. All proof live on YouTube. You guys can see it on my YouTube channel. Even if I lose a challenge, I lose an account, it's no big deal, because I know all I have to do is wait for my A+ setup, wait for the right time, the right moment. The account will be back, and the money will be made again. It's no issue.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I would say this is the perfect transition. Let's, you want to go ahead and show us a little something of the strategy you got going on?
Okay, so the strategy that I trade and basically I teach in the Trading LP program, I think we have over like 400 members that traded right now. We have over 100 funded traders, and literally everybody trades the way I do. And I've seen a lot of people actually trade this way now. It wasn't like this about a year and a half ago. Not a lot of people used to trade supply and demand. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this, but I trade supply and demand, right? Supply and demand is anytime, there's heavy pressure in buying or heavy pressure in selling. Anytime, and then I'm also watching market structure, right? I'm always focused on market structure, market sentiment, and then wherever I can find supply and demand. So typically I like to, maybe what I'll do is I'll explain my A+ setup for some people. And maybe like the last trade that I took that was successful, it was this one on CAD JPY. So this trade that I took right here, the last one, and I made a bunch of, I think this one was actually part of my payout too. I'm not sure. Nice. So this was basically me looking at, CAD JPY. I don't like trading CAD. Everybody knows this. My Discord community is going to kill me for this because I promised them I would never trade. So they're going to murder me for this. I think this typically I'm not on such lower time frames, but we have a area of supply right here. Okay. And I have something in my system called a final destination. So it's basically where I think the market would finally has to go to. I knew the market will eventually come down here. It has to, because we have all this imbalance here. So when I saw the market pull back here, this is what I call the 3-pin pattern. It's something that's in my program. It's like one candle, middle rejection. And when this candle breaks the low of this candle, I enter. It's also a 15-minute supply right there. So I entered, boom, right there. And I just got out for a 1 to 2, even though I could have held this for, if I just held it, it could have been crazy. But so recently, part of my strategy, I've just been taking 2R. My strategy, I get a really good entry and I take the 2R, but between this drop, what I'll usually do is I'll go down to the 5-minute time frame. It's going to be hard for me to like go down to the lower time frames, but I'll find another supply zone. So it could be like, if you go to the lower time frames, this should probably be another supply. And then I'll do another entry off of like the 5-minute and get another good RR. So yeah, typically my main entry will give me 2 to 3R, but my scale-ins, the scale-ins that I teach, the $15,000 payout that I did get, my win rate was only 36%. But the way that I actually made $15,000 was not because I win every trade. It's just I'm able to capitalize on that one trade that I do win, I just scale in, and it just makes me a ton of money.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but when I am having a good month, my win rate can be like 40, 45%, whatever. But I have a bunch of things that I follow, and I can maybe even explain a little bit about my A+ setup, which, I'm going to be disclosing a little bit. Fine. So how it works is we find a supply or demand area on the 4-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour time zone. We make sure. So let's just see if we can find a downtrend. Right. This was another trade that I took on Euro CHF. But it wasn't really based too much off of my strategy. But I'm just trying to explain the main setup that we trade. So it would be we need to find the overall trend has to be down. Okay, that's number one. Main thing has to be overall trend is down. We have to find a supplier area on the 4-hour time zone. Cool. We find that. There's something it's a tool that people may not know about. It's called the Forex Sentiment tool. So this tells you what retail traders are doing right now. It's connected to my FX book. So I would go to search, and I would go to Euro CHF, and I would see the majority of the people are buying. Okay, so majority of the people lose money in the markets. So I would rather do what majority of the people are not doing, but I'm still following the trend, and I have my supply, and I'll try to find an entry. So an entry would be like a 3-pin pattern. Here we don't really have that, but we still have like kind of candles breaking. So this would be something I would call A+ setup. Would be like something like this. It's like the trend is down. We have supply on the 2-hour, and the Forex sentiment is in my favor. So I'm going against what other retailers are doing. One of the things that people love doing is they love trading reversals. There's this whole can't even say it right, SMC, right? All this bullshit about 1 to 100R and 1 to 50R that you see on these Instagram gurus trading.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. Let me just tell you that right now. Because if it wasn't bullshit, then you'd see one of those people on this interview right now making
absolutely
hundreds, but they're not here. Right? I am, or somebody else is. Right? Every interview you've done, it's probably a trader that takes 2R, 3R, 4R. I'm sure you've never really talked to somebody who's done. Oh yeah, I take 100R every day. So really, just simple supply, demand, price, action. I don't even pay attention to this 50 EMA that I have. I just sometimes, if I need to see a directional, I'll put it on. But it's all price action. It's all where I think the market is potentially headed. I don't really pay attention to fundamentals, but I'm looking for liquidity on each sides. So I always know if there's areas of double bottoms, major trend is down. Absolutely. We can eventually meet this area. And I'm a trader that does not like to hold positions for more than 12 hours. I can't sleep at night. So I need to be in and I need to be out. So if it's 10 o'clock, like right now, it's like pretty late. I need to be out of the market right like now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just try to get in as soon as I can. And then if I make 2R, I'm done. If I can scale in, I'm done. Typically a successful week for me looks like finding 1 or 2 really good trades that I just scale in. And then the rest of the week, I'll give some of the money back just because I feel like trading for my Discord community. But then at this point, I've already made so much money that it really doesn't even matter. But I had a week in July, and I posted a YouTube video about it where I lost $18,000 in one day from my personal account.
Oh, fuck.
I know it's horrible. And if it was last year, I would have probably been under depression or some in the hospital or something. But I have such an amazing community right now that we all joked about it. We had fun and everybody said, don't worry about it. And I knew and Monday morning, so this happened on the Thursday, Friday, I went out, had an awesome weekend, didn't even worry about it. Monday morning, we came back. One of my traders, head traders, a student shared a trade on Euro CHF, and I made $32,000 back on Monday.
All right, then let's go.
Once you get to the stage where if I find the right setup, it's just, there's nothing to worry about anymore. It's just, can you stay patient? Like, can you stay patient enough to wait for that time to happen? The problem with most traders is they can't sit on their hands long enough. Whatever your A+ is, mine is different. Yours might be different. It's just, can you wait for that moment? Most people can't, right? It's for them, it's like a video game or something else. But for me, this is very serious. This is my living. This is what I do. This is what's changed my life. This is what allows me not to have to go back to my job. This is what allows me to travel the world. This is what's allowing me to move from one country to another in like 2 days. So I have to take this seriously. Yeah,
absolutely. Now I would say, before we wrap up the screen share and the strategy, just a quick overview of, let's just say, like, your basic you're getting ready to trade? Like, what pairs are you looking at? Where do you start? What's your time frame? Just a quick, like, okay, I'm opening up the charts. I'm getting ready to trade. What's my routine looking like?
All right. So what my routine typically looks like is I usually get up around 6 a.m. in the morning. I love trading New York session. I have a lot of anxiety about moving to the other part of the world because I don't know what London session is going to treat me like. It might treat me like crap. I don't know. But I love New York because New York, I don't know why New York has worked so well for me. I get up at 6 in the morning. I don't like to place a trade before 8:30 a.m., which is the New York Open. I just feel like it gets manipulated. I don't know. Some people love trading it before. So I'll get up at 6 just to look at the charts and maybe talk to people in my community, say what's up, respond to DMs, look at other people's charts. And I love trading all the AUD pairs and the CHF pairs, like CHF, USD, CHF, UJ, like these ones that you see here. This is like my main. But because I've kind of transitioned into only looking for A+ setups, so I don't like looking for just random setups anymore like I used to last year. I've kind of extended my list to a lot more stuff. So I'll wait around to see. So in the morning, I'll go to every single chart. Boom, boom, boom. Where do I see the best opportunity? And then I'll set an alert. Like right there, I'll set an alert. And then I'll go about my day. And every hour, I'll check the charts. Because during that time, I'm doing other things. I'm working on other projects. There's YouTube. I'm doing one-on-ones with my community. I'm helping other people in my community in Discord. I'm answering their questions. But every hour or if I'm going to the gym or if I'm doing other activities, every hour I'll come back and see, okay, has anything particular happened on my 4 favorite alerts that I set for today? And usually for the day around 10 o'clock or 12 or even up to 4 p.m., something interesting is happening. And as soon as I see something interesting happening, let's say it was this area that I was looking for example, I'm just making this up. I don't know. Maybe this was the supply. And I knew I wanted to enter, and I would just set an alert under here. And I would already calculate, okay, if I have to enter, my stop loss is, I don't know, I'm going to make it up. Like maybe it's 45 pips. I'll go to the lot size calculator. I'll calculate it out. So if my alert goes off and I'm driving somewhere and I know that alert has gone off, which means my entry has gone off, I don't even need to lot size calculate it. I'll just go 4.8 lots, boom, sell. I'll go home and put the stop loss in. And then by the time I get home, either I'm in a bunch of profit, which has happened so many times, the trade is running or whatever. So a lot of it's like pre-planned. I'm waiting for areas to get hit. I'm waiting for price action. I have something called the 3-pin pattern, which is my entry criteria. And it's, if it happens, I'm in. If it doesn't happen, I'm not. So if it happens, my alert goes off and I just use my phone to just press buy and sell and it works.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I do the same thing.
Or I've been successful. So yeah, that's kind of my routine daily. And but once I move over to the other side of the world, we'll see how London session treats me. If it doesn't treat me well, then I guess I'll be staying up late nights and just going back to.
I'll be thinking about it. All right, fair enough. Okay, we can go back to our questions. This was incredible. All right, fair enough. This is not too complicated. I'll be honest. For someone that's got their shit together, this is a very straightforward strategy we got. Okay, guys. So the second part of the interview is going to be psychology. But before we get into psychology, we need to know, how much was your payout?
Yeah, so my first payout that I just got from the Funded Trader program was $15,338.84 USD, which equals 21,000 in Canadian dollars. Since I'm in Canada, so I get a little bit more extra. So that's how much I would make at my old job in 5 months of 40 hours a week, and I did 20 days. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick to trading.
Okay, next one is going to be, so psychology-wise, it seems like you said psychology comes, you mentioned this before, psychology just comes with experience. It just comes as, and you got to learn it as you go. So is there tips that you give to like maybe some new traders that even though they're going to have to experience this on their own, but what can you give them before they do?
Okay. The number one thing that I keep talking about my YouTube videos and my reels and all these other places, there's 3 things you need. You need strategy, which you can find online. It's no big deal. You can find mine. You can buy somebody else's. You could have a simple, stupid break and retest, something random. Okay. Number 2 that people struggle with the most is risk management. People cannot seem to control over leveraging. So if anybody's watching that's trading $100 account, $500 account, I highly, highly ask you, you are not going to make money Don't try to flip a 500 to 5,000. You may see people on YouTube doing it. You won't do it. Trust me. And that's where psychology comes in. So risk management cannot be screwed up. Psychology works like this in trading. Okay. If you don't have the right account size, if you're trading a $500, 1,000, number one, your psychology is already gone because the money's not you. You're not going to want to see $5 on your screen. You will see all these people on Instagram making $5,000. That's going to mess you up. Number one. So stop following people on social media. Step number one. Step number two, focus on the process. So in terms of this all kind of does tie down to psychology, but I'm just giving advice to traders here. This is what I tell my students, and this is what I know works because I've taken people from not being able to make money to be able to quit their job. Like I've taken literally people in my community to do this, and this is the steps I tell them. If you've been trading for less than 3 years, forget about money. Forget about money exists in trading. Forget you're gonna make money. If you keep focusing on money, you're going to mess with your head. Your head is going to mess with you. So you need to stop thinking about the money aspect. You just need to improve your strategy, risk management, and psychology will automatically improve when you risk 1% and you only pick your best setup. Okay. You don't overtrade. So you have to have a rule. I used to have this whiteboard on my wall here that used to say stop on both sides in big red letters. And it would say risk 1% per one trade for 1 day. Every time I did funding, I would risk 1% for 1 day. I would not let myself lose more than 3% in 1 week. Why? Because once you start going over these barriers, your emotions start playing games, right? And there's two kind of emotions that play roles. One are the bad emotions, losing trades, having something bad happening in your life, losing an account, losing a challenge. These things will create bad emotions for you. If you lose a trade at 8:30 in the morning, do not even close your computer. You're done for the day. It's over for you. It does not
like that.
You need to let your brain you need to let I don't know what the term would be, but you need to let your brain reset. Give it 12 hours to just calm down. Go for a walk, do something else, get some hobbies. You know what I mean? Especially if you're doing a challenge. If you lose more than 1% a day, it's over for you. Come back tomorrow. What most people do is they'll chase the high, they'll chase and the second bad emotion is the euphoria, the good, the happy, the, hey, I just made 3%. I'm about to kill this challenge. I've had people who've been to 109. You know what I mean? They've literally passed the challenge and then gone to failing it because they were too I've done it myself. I took an FDM account from 100,000 to 37% back down to zero because of greed. Because of happiness, because of, I'm going to do this. The $18,000 I lost that 1 day was because I felt like, okay, I'm on top of the world. Nobody can stop me. I'm the best. And then you're never the best in this game. You will get humbled very quickly. So in terms of psychology, if you're over leveraging, if you're trading an account that's too big, if you're trading a challenge that you cannot afford to lose more than 5 times in a row, you might have seen that reel on my Instagram, you are going to be attached to the money and you will mess up your psychology. So you need, if it's psychology for challenges, take a challenge you can afford to lose 5 times in a row. If it's a personal account, make sure you're risking 1% and no more. And make sure you're just focusing on the process and not the money, because the money will come when everything starts to click. Like for me, when everything clicked, the money just, like, making $15,000 in 20 days is stupid. Like who has a job that does that? I think I'm getting paid. I'm making more money than lawyers and doctors, right? But this is not something I could have thought about 2 years ago, but I was obsessed with money 2 years ago. But what I didn't realize was the money doesn't come until later. Right now, you need to focus on the process. So forget about the money. Focus on, can I make 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% with a $100 account? It's going to be super boring. But if you can make $10 on a $100 account for 3 months in a row, you're going to make $10,000 a month for 3 months in a row with a $100,000 account. But the thing is, people are not willing to wait that long. And that's when they kind of mess up with their own psychology. Psychology will always be basically pressure. How much pressure can you take off of your chest with trading? How much pressure are you putting on yourself? How much, you know what I mean? Like, don't be taking $400,000 challenges if you can't afford that money. Don't be taking a $100,000 challenge if you can't afford that money. So I think everybody figures this out on themselves. There's greed and there's euphoria and there's sadness and there's a lot of human emotions that we can't control. But over time, you get to know them better and you get to know yourself better. I had to make changes in my own personal life that just, like I'm good at not turning off the computer now, shutting it off, calling it a day. I can at least look around and say, look, this iPhone, the market's bought me this. Maybe I should stop for today and come back tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be like
Okay.
my okay explanation of psychology.
No, I'm into it. I'm totally into it. And I would say, I think just like you said, being able to like just walk away for the day, I absolutely believe that the freedom or the ability to do that so much easier comes with time. Like that's something that I can do so much easier now. Like
Yeah.
once you realize, once you've taken one too many revenge trades and you're just like, all right, I am fucking myself. Like I'm draining my account. Like I have got, and actually what you said earlier was pretty eye opening. If you start the day at 8 a.m., you've already taken a loss. Like maybe let's just call it today.
And if this is what you want to do for a living and you're really serious about it and you've made money in the past and you've been able to buy something, I don't have the setup in this room anymore, but if anybody's seen my setup on Instagram, all of that was bought with payouts. So why would I risk being stupid over when I can make money? When I can, like, why would I risk not being able to make $15,000 when I can call it quits, come back tomorrow and have a better chance and make money and be, you know, like why come and do stupid things? But these are things that come over time enough. I think you have to really get your, I don't want to use the words, but you have to get burned to learn.
Yeah.
Burn to learn.
Yeah. Agreed. Absolutely. We're going to slogan that, copyright it. Burn to learn. Okay. Well, then I'd say the way to end this off is I would say, I know that you want to be motivating. We want to motivate our like funded traders they're funded, but they haven't quite got that payout yet. I think the hardest way is like, how do we motivate them without being like, yes, like we got a $15,000 payout. Yes, I'm a full-time trader. Yes, I'm making money, but like it comes with time. Like how can we still keep them motivated even though we know it takes time to do this?
Now, are you asking for the people that are looking to do challenges right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I would say to people who want to get funded right now, because I think I'm pretty reputable to speak on this topic. This is my second time getting interviewed by a prop firm. I've had over $250,000 in payouts in prop firms. I've been funded with up to $1.2 million in different prop firms. Okay, this is what I would say. Listen, this whole funding thing it can change your life, but it can also ruin you too, right? You don't want to be. I know some people who spent $10,000, $15,000 in challenges. Absolutely stupid. My biggest suggestion I can make to you is first find a strategy that works with your personality. Okay, you need a strategy that matches your personality. You might be somebody who loves 5-minute, 10-minute intraday. You might be somebody who needs swing. I don't know. Find a strategy that works with your personality. This strategy works with my personality. Number 2, if you have not perfected risk management, you need to stop wherever you are and just manage the shit out of yourself. We are not traders first. We are risk managers first is something that I like to say to my students. We don't control the markets. We don't know what's going to happen. All we control in these markets is our risk. So if you can't control your risk, it's already game over for you, buddy. You're not going nowhere with this. So, become a very good risk manager first, and before you think about becoming a good trader. Being a good trader doesn't mean anything, because let me give you an example. A good risk manager will always beat a good trader. If somebody can manage risk better than somebody that can trade, they'll win over that person. So number two is risk management. Once you have this in place and you want to get funded, cool. It's time for you to take a challenge. You need to ask yourself, can I afford to lose this challenge 5 times? That means if you're taking a $500, $100K, which is typically $500, get a little discount. You can get my discount, but get a discount, and then that means you should be comfortable losing $2,500. It should not affect you emotionally, financially. It should not affect you paying your bills or paying your phone bill or going out on the weekend. It shouldn't even be a drop in the bucket. So for most people, that should really be a 10K challenge or 15 or 25 or 50. But people like to randomly take risk with these 400s and 100Ks. I'm not saying you can't do that, but just make sure you can. Because we still have an emotional attachment to money. So you're still going to be under pressure doing this challenge. Just try to take the one that's lower. Take like a 50K, try to pass it. And then what a lot of people do is they try to make 10% every single month on funded accounts. You're not supposed to do that. That's like trying to make 100% every month because you only have 10% drawdown. So you need to risk 0.5%. You need to get to 1 to 2%. And apply for a payout right away so you can get your refund back. Once you get your refund back, that's kind of like getting your investment back that you made into the challenge. And now you're kind of trading risk-free and you can put that into another challenge. So take a smaller challenge, go slow, risk 1% a day, don't lose more than 1% a day, and do all of the step 1 and 2 that I just told you about. And then you will probably eventually get funded. And then, you need to take it super slow. The prop firms aren't going anywhere. This market's not going anywhere. There's no rush. There's no rush. It's just, I think there's a lot of, there's a lot of things on Instagram and YouTube and a lot of flexing and that can get to people's heads. And I think that's something people will have to stay away from. I think that would be a big difference.
All right, then. You guys heard it here first. I'm just kidding. You probably have this all over your YouTube. You heard it here first on TFT. All right, Usman, I think that was incredibly efficient. I mean, I feel like I haven't done an interview with someone that is like, the only way I can think of it, and I'm sorry if I curse too much, but you've got your shit together. Like, I feel like of all the people I've interviewed, you have got your shit together. You've got your ducks in a row. Like, you got this. This is nothing new. This is another walk in the park. This is incredible.
I mean, I worked hard at this, and then also teaching this over time to people that like struggle with it. It also makes me realize, so if somebody's struggling, I'll be like, oh, maybe I should not do what they're doing. And then, so it kind of like, so you know what I mean? It's the learning from myself, teaching other people, and then also having all this success with prop firms. It kind of put me together. But I'm not saying this is easy for me by any means. I still have my hard days. I still have my struggles. I had a horrible August. I lose funded accounts all the time. I don't make money every month. Like, it's not a perfect life. There's ups and downs, but as long as it's paying me and I don't have to work a job and I don't have to report to no boss and I can travel and I can take my laptop and do whatever I want, can't complain.
Can't complain. That's it. That's the lifestyle. That's exactly it.
I think that's the real trader lifestyle. I don't think it's supposed to be the flexing the Lambos and the Rolex.
No, I completely agree with you. Oh my gosh, my Instagram is like, I try to make it as so transparent, same as yours. Like, it's just like, no, I don't have a Lambo, but I don't go to work. I don't have a job. Like, I make my money trading. And like you said, last month, guess what? August, I didn't make no money.
Horrible.
But July, I didn't make no money. But June, I had the best month of the entire year. So that's just how it goes.
And if you don't feel like getting up tomorrow, you don't have to get up tomorrow and do nothing. You can just sleep in and do nothing all day tomorrow. So yeah.
That's the life. That's what we chose. All right, guys. I feel like that's all we got for you today.
Peace, everyone.
Thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview.
No problem.
All right, guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Drop a comment. Tell us what you guys thought of this interview. And also give Usman a follow. LP Trading. Look that up. Is it LP Trading for YouTube?
So I couldn't get that name on. So it's Trading LP on Instagram, and also if you just type in Trading LP on YouTube, you're gonna be able to find me. There's no way you can miss me. There's no way you can miss me. I'm all over YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. You'll be able to find me.
Okay, cool. All right, so go ahead and give him a follow. Awesome. Okay, that's all I got for you today.